Good morning, friends. This session is dedicated to all language lovers, particularly for those students and friends who are very keen to speak and write correct expressions. Because whenever we are speaking in a spoken English or as well as in written English, we must take care that we should never use superfluous words or sentences. Otherwise, the meaning is different and it is also incorrect. So, in order to avoid superfluous, expressions, this session is going to have complete light on that. What is a superfluous expression? When we use the words and phrases which are not required or which are more than required, it becomes superfluous. For example, return and back. If you use back with return, it becomes superfluous. Return means you went back, so there is no need to use return back. So there are certain expressions which should be avoided with certain words like until, unless, rarely, hardly, scarcely, seldom, barely, forbid, deny, but for these words, lest these words are negative, so they should not be used with not. We should never use not because it will become double negative, which will become superfluous. So we should not use not with until, unless, rarely, hardly, scarcely, seldom, just to avoid a superfluous expression. For example, he did not deny that he had not stolen my watch. So when you are using deny, you should not use in the second clause not. So the right answer is he did not deny that he had stolen my watch. So deny itself means refused. Not is already there. So no need to use yes not. Second, unless you will not work hard, you will not succeed. Unless you work hard, unless itself is negative, so not will not be used. So the right answer is unless you work hard, you will not succeed. Then not until the train gets the signal will it leave the platform. Not is not here required, it becomes superfluous. So until the train gets the signal will it leave the platform. No need to use not in the beginning of the sentence because until itself is negative. And in the introductory form we should never use not. Similarly, never use back after the following words like recede, return, retract, retreat, withdraw, recall, and reimburse. Never use back with these words. Never say recede back. Always say receded. Like he did not return back my watch. Back is not required here. Return itself is enough. So the right answer is he did not return my watch. Similarly, the water of the river receded back after the flood. This is wrong. The water of the river receded. Receded means went back. No need of using back with receded. So the right answer is the water of the river receded. Maruti recalled back. Again, back is not required. Maruti recalled many cars due to technical fault. So similarly, recalled is not used with back. So receipt is also not used with back. Return is also not used. Simply say that I returned his book. Never say I returned from my office. Never say returned back. Similarly, the water receded. Never say the water receded back. Always say receded. Similarly, repeat, recapitulate, recall, reborn, rebuild. Never use again with them. Otherwise, the expressions become superfluous. Similarly, always say I recapitulated the lesson before taking the exam. Never say I recapitulated again. Never say. Always say I recapitulated the lesson before taking the exam. Ram was reborn. Never say again. Ram was reborn as Krishna in the Dwarka. Similarly, The bridge was rebuilt. Never say rebuilt again. Similarly, never use two comparatives or two superlatives together, otherwise it will become superfluous. So avoid using two comparatives or two superlatives together, and never use more or most with interior, exterior, ulterior, major, minor, empty, excellent. Never use more or most with them because they themselves are in comparative form. Like I can tell you, this is a more unique feature of this flora. This is wrong. Simply you write, this is a unique feature of this flora. Unique itself suggests that it is having a better feature. Corruption is a more universal problem. It is wrong. Corruption is a universal problem. No, do not use more with universal. It will become superfluous. You have done the most excellent piece of work. Wrong. Never use most with excellent. Simply say you have done the the excellent piece of work. Never say most excellent. Always say you have done the excellent piece of work. Similarly, never use suppose and if together because both have the same meaning. Always say suppose I do not come, what will you do? Like that. Never use if and suppose together. Use should you if need. Wrong. Either you use if or you should use should. Should you need my help, let me know. So always avoid superfluous statements. Now some corrections. Shyam Yadav, being a philanthropist and altruist, he is liked by all. Here he is not required. Simply say Shyam Yadav, being a philanthropist and altruist, is liked by all. The people who do not perform their duty, they should not make a hue and cry. Here they is not required. They will make the expression superfluous. So the right answer is those people who do not perform their duty should not make a hue and cry. That is the right answer. They is not required. Pronoun is not required here. Pronoun will become an addition to the noun. When I was going to market, I suddenly came across. Suddenly means you came across somebody. So suddenly and come across will never be together. So the right answer is when I was going to market, I came across my childhood friend. Never say suddenly I came across. Always say I came across. Suddenly means you come across. So I came across my childhood friend is the right answer. Do not use suddenly with come across. We usually come across with, again come across will never be used with. Simply say we usually come across difficulties, but we have to cope up with this. A cool light breeze. Cool breeze means light breeze. No need of using cool and light together. So the right answer is a cool breeze was blowing. Do you have sufficient enough? Sufficient means enough. So why should you use sufficient and enough together? The right answer is do you have enough money to buy this dress, or do you have enough money, sufficient money to buy it? Either you say do you have sufficient money to buy this dress, or do you have enough money to buy this dress? Sufficient and enough cannot be together, otherwise it will become superfluous. When we entered means you went into, so no need of using into. Entered means you went inside. So when we entered is the right answer. When we entered the hall, the program was going. To our amazement, the speed of the car increased when it approached. Approached and near are same. So when we approached the station, the train arrived. Never say when we approach near, because both have the same meaning. So when we approach the platform, the train arrived. Never use near with approach. And the last one, the essay on women empowerment should not exceed more than. Exceed means already more than. So why should you write exceed and more together? So the right answer is your essay should not exceed 200 words. Exceed means more than. Your essay should not exceed 200 words. It means your essay should not be more than 200 words. So that is what is superfluous expression. We should avoid superfluous expression in our day-to-day spoken and written English in order to reach perfection. Thank you, friends.